All right, today a little bit of a different video. This one's going to be about video vlogging. Is that how you'd say it? This video is about vlogging in 2021-22 and what are the latest technology pieces that you could use in your day-to-day video collection, whether it be for a YouTube channel or just recording the family out and about or your dog. Dogs are always good. Anyway, the number one thing that I always use is probably what's in your pocket all the time, the cell phone. And so this, God bless, is your cell phone. This is the iPhone 13 Pro Max, so it's the bigger version of the phone. And what I love about this phone is cinematic mode. So in cinematic mode, you can choose the subject that's in focus. You can do that real time or in post-production as you're editing later. And originally you could only do it on the phone, but now after you put it in your iPad, you can actually do it in your iPad as well. So you can select who is in focus and you can control the aperture of the lens for the video. So you can do a lot of awesome things with this phone. The negative is it's not in 4K, it's in 1080p, but that's fine for most of what you're going to use it for anyway, whether it's just looking at family videos or uploading it to YouTube so people can look at it on their phone. You don't need everything in 4K unless you're an extreme sports athlete and you're doing really amazing things. But in this case, 1080 in the cinematic mode on the iPhone 13, definitely my go-to recently because it just takes awesome videos. If you want to see an example of that, just hit any of the links on my channel to see some of the YouTube videos I've produced, mostly about GoPro gear that is on the wall behind me. Now, if I'm not going to use the phone, there's a couple of other tools that are popular now that might be interesting to you. This is the DJI Pocket 2. I've had this for a while. It does very good at what it does, but there's some things I don't like about it, so I really only use it for one thing. This is the GoPro Hero 9. Had it for a little bit. I had a GoPro 8 too, but it got wet inside. But the GoPro Hero 9, it does everything I need to do. I have not upgraded to the Hero 10 because I don't necessarily need 4K video at 120 frames per second. So this does great. This is the DJI Action 2, which just came out. Very new camera, and it's got some big positives, but it also has some big negatives. So that might not be the right camera for you. But these are all of the great options that are out there, just to name a few, all available and would be great gifts this holiday season. So let's go over these one at a time and see which one might be the best camera for you in your lifestyle for whatever you're trying to record. I've already said how awesome the iPhone 13 Pro is, and so that's my go-to device as I walk around and just whip this phone out and record whatever you happen to be doing, whether it's planned or unplanned. If you're going to use the iPhone 13 Pro or Max, either one of them, or really any cell phone for recording, a couple things you're going to want to get. One is a holder, and there's countless examples on Amazon. Things that are going to hold your phone and attach it to a tripod by this base plate. Or if you want to go advanced, and this is very, very helpful, and I use this all the time. This is the DJI OM5, and I'm a big fan of this for stabilization on the phone. The phone has some good stabilization already, but this is going to further stabilize the device and let you walk around and make it picture perfect, smooth, and very cinematic. It does some other cinematic things, sequences that you could do, but I haven't used any of those. I just like the fact that it stabilizes the phone as I'm walking through the woods, which I do quite a bit when I'm reviewing all of this gear. The expert level of using the OM5 is the fact that when you're using the OM5 with the DJI app to record the video, which you can use the triggers and do all this cool stuff with this camera, or with the phone while it's attached to this gimbal, the negative is it doesn't have cinematic mode, but you can use the phone or use the gimbal to stabilize your phone and choose cinematic mode and record with your iPhone camera, not through the DJI app. So that's just a little expert tip there that you could use with this gimbal, which is also very cool. And it extends selfie stick mode all the way out of frame, coming back, and has a little tripod which is removable as you walk around. So That's the OM5, big fan of the OM5 walking around. And that's the iPhone 13 and everything that you might want to use it for. Again, cinematic mode, very cool. Let's talk about my least favorite of these cameras. That would be the Pocket 2, which I've had the Pocket 2 for a while. Put that up front and center. The Pocket 2 is a great little camera. It does stabilization already. There's a wide angle attachment that you can get, and that does a great job. The negatives are it's kind of hard to control, and the screen is very small. So you're trying to find things, and it's a very tiny screen. This is a little tripod attachment I have on there. It does not come with it. But, so it is very good, very portable. There's a creator combo that has some additional wireless microphones, which would be what you want if you're going to use this solely as your recording option. But it has a very limited in terms of settings that make it sort of negative for me. Internal battery, nothing to put in there, so there's no battery you can replace with the DJI Pocket 2. So why do I have it? Why didn't I just return the camera? Well, it does one thing very well, and that is motion lapse. So what I love about this camera is you can set it to start in one place and over a period of time track to the other side of the room, other side of the sky, meanwhile doing a time lapse. So you get this very cool cinematic look as everyone's moving around like little ants, but the camera is panning in one direction, and you custom set those 2 points. So that is really the only reason I use this camera nowadays, is for those motion lapses. So because it's a really cool feature that really no other camera can really do because you can't move things around. So that's the Pocket 2. The other thing that is probably the least favorite of these two cameras, and they're both good and I use them for different things. So how would I use these? Well, I just got this camera, the Action 2, and so it is not quite as awesome and versatile and as robust as I would say is the GoPro. But nothing can compete with this form factor. So that's the camera. And it can go anywhere, and there's plenty of reviews on this camera, and so you can look those up, and I'll put some sample video. The advantage is the fact that this is so small, very portable, can be put in different spots, and this part is waterproof. This is not, but this part is waterproof. Now it can record in 4K 120, but it's going to time out. In my experience, about 5 to 6 minutes just walking around in about 70 degrees and sunny. It timed out, overheated, and shut itself down, and I even elevated the setting to the high setting for the temperature. Aha, there it is. Recording stopped. 7 minutes. So that's that. This is the base model that has the front facing screen. Very cool if you're gonna vlog. The advantage to having just this camera, although not waterproof in this configuration, is the fact that it adds additional microphones. So you can, and you do get very good audio quality out of this setup right here if you were just going to have one camera throw in your bag and use this all the time. Memory storage is another issue, and battery is another. So this has a very limited battery. This is a bigger battery, and together they work fine and will have plenty of battery for you. Memory, this has a little bit of memory, not much. This has more memory in the terms of a SD card, micro SD that you put in the back. So together they're good. Separate, they're very limited, but you could use this as your sole source vlogging camera, and it does have some very good capabilities action camera wise, and you can get a GoPro mount that will attach to all your GoPro's accessories. So that's why this camera is really cool. Lots of promise, but right now it is very limited in terms of features for me and the way I use all these cameras when I'm out and about. Now, if I had one camera only to take to augment my iPhone 13 Pro Max, it would be the GoPro. And because this thing folds down just to this size, it can go anywhere. This is actually not just the GoPro. This is the GoPro Hero 9 and the media mount. So the media mount extends the capabilities of this, not waterproof, but it does make it very capable and adds some wind noise protection with this little, little doodad that thing's in the front. Also lets you plug in stuff, and you can put a light on here or additional microphones right onto this if you wanted to, but this right here is really, really good. A lot of people will use this without the media mod, and that looks like this. The negative that I have is when this thing's in the media mod, transforming this from media mod mode to regular mode. Here's the door to make sure it doesn't get wet. And back to just straight up GoPro is not complicated, just a lot of moving parts. I feel like I'm manipulating Optimus Prime or another Transformer from back in the day. In this mode, just by itself, is also very capable, lots of good microphones, and really I've gotten good results with just this, but if I want a little better audio, I'll do the media mod. Although people will swear by the fact that you really don't need the media mod to get good sound out of the GoPro 9. And they sell other options that are a lot cheaper that will go around and muffle the wind noise for the GoPro 9. The recent toy that I just got that I'm really looking forward to trying out is this Hohem gimbal here. And I haven't used it yet. Let's get some of this stuff aside. But this is a gimbal that you can use with the GoPro Hero 9 or Hero 10. It straps in here and you'll be able to do similar things that you can do with the OM5 with your phone. Obviously you can't put your phone in this, you can't put the GoPro in that, so really it requires two gimbals. Would I travel with this? Well, it's fairly transportable. It's not very big. This also has the tripod base on it, which I find very useful when you're trying to do different shots. So will I use this long term? I don't know. I'm going to try it out, see the different kind of shots that you can get, but that's the Hohem iSteady 4 Pro 4, I think. But anyway, cool gimbal that you can increase the capabilities of your GoPro Hero 9. And so that's it. That's how I record. That's mobile vlogging 2021. Different tools that you would use, the Action 2, the Pocket 2, and the GoPro Hero 9. Now, post-production, what do? I do everything with my iPad. So I edit all my videos on the iPad Pro, and this is the biggest one, and it does great. It's got the M1 chip, super fast, and I love it. That is it. That's mobile vlogging 2021 edition, and some of the cool cameras that are out there that you might consider, but with some of their limitations. Again, I use this one for motion lapse. This one's got a lot of potential, and really, the one thing I haven't really talked about is the ability to use them. There's a little magnet mount. Put it on you as you're doing cool activities. So that one's got a lot of potential, mostly because of the size, but the most versatile do-it-all camera. If I had to do anything and just have one, it's the GoPro Hero 9 or Hero 10. But again, if you're just going to vlog, then think about the resolution that you need in the frames per second. You don't need anything more than 30 frames per second, so really you don't even need a 9. The advantage of the 9 is the front screen, so you can see if you're in frame as you're moving around. But and my 8 did just fine as well. But the GoPro Hero 9 is my go-to. So there it is, mobile vlogging 2021, 2022. All great options for the mobile vlogger or family history recording artist or whatever you need to do to record things to watch it later on your 4K TV or your phone. Hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you can see what's happening next. It's probably going to be a review of outdoor gear, probably a backpack, probably by GoRuck, or some other ones that I've got coming up, Mystery Ranch, etc. So hopefully you will be there to watch it. Thanks for watching. Here's how it all works. This is a little different than my normal video. The dog agrees.